We're back. Rockin' Behr, live, recorded live for week 8, almost halfway through the season. Man, it's been a good one so far. A lot of craziness so far. Nothing but exciting, to say the least.
Absolutely shocking. Tampa losing and Bears winning. And come on, let's get on with week 8.
Yeah, hopefully we have a little bit more of a normalcy this week. We should see some teams wanting to get back to normal. Tonight's game, Tampa Bay is hosting Baltimore. Tampa Bay is -1.5 at home. A huge game for both teams, Rock. What do you think?
Well, you kind of gotta think Brady's gonna bounce back. Baltimore, better defense. Well, the Tampa Bay's defense is pretty good. I have to go with Brady at home.
All right, I think Brady. He's a competitor. He's been up and down the sidelines. They're still in the head. They're still ahead in their division, barely. They're tied with Atlanta, 3-4. So they still have. There's still light at the end of the tunnel for them, right? Baltimore's been great in flashes, but I think Tampa Bay is going to show up big tonight on Thursday night.
I wonder what Tom's record is on Monday night. I think it's something outstanding, but I don't know. Let's move on.
Yeah, he loves the spotlight.
Yeah,
Spotlight Tom. All right, moving on. Denver is going to see Jacksonville. Jacksonville, I still think they're better than their record at 2-5. Jacksonville is hosting Denver with Rippon at quarterback.
Denver's Rippon. Well, like you had mentioned in our pregame, Jacksonville scored the most points in that division, and they're in last.
Yes.
So they're going to need some help at home. Denver's offense just doesn't have enough to stay with Jacks. I got Jacks for sure.
Jacks for sure. All right, I think Jacksonville has a chance. I'll take Jacks at home to cover. All right, moving on. A game that Dallas thought was probably going to be an easy W, but I think there's more question marks on this game. Dallas hosting the Bears, giving the Bears 9.5 points. That's a lot of points, Rock. What do you think?
Well, here's the funny thing. The Bears' offensive line for the pass, Fields runs all over the place. He's got happy feet. The offensive line for the pass is terrible. Obviously, gaining 240 yards on the ground against New England, what the heck was that all about? It's 9.5, Matthew. I think the Bears are going to keep it close and cover, but I don't think they can beat Dallas.
Right. I think the Bears used up a lot of their juju last week to get that win. So I think Dallas will win this game, Cowboys. But I think it's going to be close. I think it's going to be about a 7-point game. I think Mike is probably going to run a spy on Fields to keep them. They're competitors, same draft class. They did the same same preseason workout. So these two guys know each other and they're competitors.
Okay, cool.
So I think that's going to be an interesting game plan. Can the Cowboys stop the run? That's kind of been their kryptonite this season. So that's why I think it's going to be a close game. But Cowboys by maybe a field goal at home.
All right.
Moving on. A battle up in the Northeast. New England Patriots are going to go see the Jets. The Jets without Breece Hall, their star running back this season, kind of had me worried for them. Rock, what do you think?
Boy, you'd have to think New England's going to bounce back. Zappy's going to probably get the start after Big Mac didn't do real well. So I like the Jets, but I'm going to have to go with a Bill Belichick bounce back New England. They're giving 2.5. Jesus, the Jets are a dog at home. I think the books know what they're doing. I'm going with New England.
I agree. I think New England, Bill Belichick's going to take this game. He's going to break it down to he's going to take everything away from the Jets, what they had left over after the running game's been cut in half. Zach Wilson, not really the kind of contender I want against the New England defense. New England win this game. I'll go ahead and call it by a touchdown.
All right.
All right, moving on. Miami Dolphins. They barely squeaked by last week, in a cover. The Detroit Lions played the Cowboys really close in the first half.
Yeah.
It came down, kind of unraveled. Things happened to them. Rock, what do you think?
Well, I think I think Tua was gone for a couple to 3 weeks, and I think he was really rusty. I'm not going to say he stunk up the field, but he kind of did.
The first couple drives looked really good.
Detroit, their offense puts up a lot of points. I think they're a 3.5-point dog, and I'm going to take them at home. Detroit. As a matter of fact, they're even going to beat Miami outright.
Ooh, an upset. Not so fast, my friend. I'm the other way. I went the favorite. I think Tua's got some reps. This game isn't going to be a rainy game like his last game, so it's going to be indoor conditions.
Okay.
We're going to see glimpses of Tyreek Hill and Waddle getting downfield, getting open, and I think Miami's going to win this game by 14.
Okay.
Big prediction.
Whoa.
Big predictions on both sides of the game here.
My.
Rock and Bear aren't the same.
Detroit's so due, but yeah, who knows?
Detroit's due, but Detroit, things happen to them. The Lions, they beat themselves.
Goff.
They can't seem to be good. All right, Las Vegas going to see New Orleans. New Orleans, are they marching or are they stumbling? I think Las Vegas is finding the rhythm at 2-5. This is a must-win for them. Rock, what do you think?
Well, they miss Waller. I mean, he was like the go-to guy. This team made the playoffs last year. New Orleans just is a sneaky team, even though they're 2-5. They've had some really close games. I don't have all the stats about how many points of this and that, but Taysom Hill comes in and he does his job every now and then. Their defense is good. They're getting a point and a half at home, but I've still got to go with Vegas to win and cover.
I agree. I think because they're playing quarterback for New Orleans, whether it's Andy Dalton or if it's Jameis Winston, you're going to get a pick. You're going to get a pick six, and that's going to be the deciding factor for Las Vegas, who started slow last week, but go in and they found a rhythm and ended up putting 38 points on the board. So Las Vegas by a touchdown.
Viva Las Vegas!
Viva Las Vegas! All right, moving on. Arizona Cardinals. Kyler Murray. Question mark going against Minnesota. Minnesota plays tough at home. Kirk Cousins. This is an afternoon game for him, so he's not going to have the spotlight where he tends to fall apart. He tends to have his biggest games when he's playing with 8 other games going on at the same time. So Minnesota hosting, giving Cardinals 3.5. Rock, what do you think?
Well, you got Dalvin Cook, you got your running game, you still have Thielen, you've got the other wideout who I forget his name, but he's Jefferson. He's really good. This is what this Minnesota team at 5-1. They're going to win the division and may even win they may have home field for a playoff game. And I think the Minnesota, they're going to win and cover. They're going to win by 10.
Yeah, I agree. I think they're also going to win and cover, especially at home. They like the indoor stadium. Kyler Murray, he's mad at his team right now. He doesn't like his team, doesn't like his organization. He just got him for $200+ million, but I don't know if he's going to be there in another year or two. All right, Carolina Panthers, who made the biggest upset last week, 21-3 blowout over Tampa and Tom. Going to see Atlanta, who's been surprising a lot of people in their division. They're tied with the Buccaneers. -4 at home. Rock, what do you think?
I think Carolina had to blow their cork. Although they lose one of the best running backs in football, all-purpose backs really, and then they come and they get this win. I haven't seen the real stats, but Mariota's playing really well. It's 4.5. This one's a coin toss. I'm going to take the home team, Atlanta.
All right, I think Atlanta
-4.5.
I think Atlanta. I agree. I think Mariota's been running the ball around. Making the most of what he's got. People weren't really looking at Carolina last week. They said the head coach got fired. They lost McCaffrey, Mayfield. Who was even the quarterback? They had their third string guy in there. So, they also had controversy with Robbie Anderson, who got traded, who moved. So I think Atlanta, they'll win this game by 10 points. All right, moving on. Pittsburgh to Philly. Battle of Pennsylvania. Philly's still undefeated. They're talking about the 72 Dolphins season a little too soon here. I think, Philly being a 10.5 point favorite at home sounds about right. Rock, what do you think?
Well, regarding they're talking about the 72 Dolphins, that's kind of a possibility. I do not know their schedule, what cross-conference league they play. So that's too hard to predict. 10.5 Pittsburgh. The Pittsburgh quarterback looked good. Pickett looked pretty good.
Hometown boy.
Najee's been a little bit of a disappointment, but I expected somebody on TV predicted him to win the MVP. What? Anyway, to cover 10.5. Yeah, they're going to do it. They're just on fire, and Pittsburgh just doesn't have enough juice.
All right, not so fast, my friend. I think Pittsburgh's going to surprise some people here. They're going to play. They're going to play it close. I don't know if they're going to win. I think Philly, they're staying undefeated is just tough. Any given Sunday, anything can happen.
They're at home.
I think Pittsburgh's going to cover, but Philly should win this game.
Sure, they're at home. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. All right, Tennessee going to see Houston. Houston +2.5, a home dog. Tennessee looks strong. They played the Colts really well, and Tennessee probably the obvious pick here. But what do you think?
Well, yeah, Houston's 1-4, and I'm surprised they're only getting 2.5. I'd have made this a 6.5 point line. Of course, who am I? No, Tennessee wins this one by 10.
Yeah, Houston did put up some points last week. They played against Las Vegas really well. They hung in there for a while, and then they pulled away. So I think Tennessee should win this game. They need this game, the interdivision game, big game.
They do, and they're going to win that division too.
All right, moving on. We have the New York Football Giants going to see Seattle, who's been surprising a lot of people. Seattle
game of the week.
home.
What the game of the week?
Game of the week. Oh, that's a pretty bold statement. Seattle -3 at home. Rock, what do you think? Giants have it in them?
I'm eating Seattle up to win this one. They are -3. The books know what they're talking about. Giants have been kind of a lucky team. One of the things that you really got to watch out for, and we'll see how Pete Carroll's... Daniel Jones runs that fake to Barkley and runs around end untouched. He gained 100 yards last week. He might get 100 this week. But I think Seattle's going to be ready for him, and Seattle does win this game at home.
Not so fast, my friend. I think this game is going to be won on the back of the Giants' defense. The Giants' defense, with their defensive coordinator coming from Baltimore, they disguise a lot of their packages. They load the left and blitz on the right. They drop guys back. They'll put a true corner up on the line of scrimmage, showing blitz, and then have him drop back into coverage. So
okay, all right.
I think the Giants are going to have Geno Smith in a blender. He's not going to know what to do, not going to know what to expect, and Daniel Jones on the ground, he gets a lot done because they don't game plan for him to run. He breaks in scrambles and he makes plays happen.
Okay.
But the Giants tend to get a little careless with penalties, so I'll take the Giants to win this game outright. Give me the points too.
All right.
San Francisco always makes a big meal out of the Rams. Rams at home. I think they're ready to break the curse. Rock, what do you think?
I don't think there's a chance. Here's the thing. The number one defense got trounced last week. Of course, Mahomes is really competing with my boy Josh Allen for MVP. But moving on, Jimmy G, they should call him Jimmy the Statue because he can't move. If you saw the end of the game, Purdy came in, and I liked him in his one exhibition game. He jukes in the box. He moves around. Shanahan, I love to see him start Purdy, but I think San Francisco's going to win this game no matter who quarterbacks.
I agree. Win and cover. All right, moving on. Washington to Indy. The battle of the backup quarterbacks. Heineke playing against Ellinger. Indy -3 at home. Rock, what do you think?
Well, Heineke he needs some more playing time. He's certainly better than, Carson picked off fumble Wentz. And hopefully he's done. We won't see him on any other teams. But Indy, you said that they're taking out Matty Ice because he threw 54 passes, and they
like Ellinger. They want to give the young guy a chance.
I'm going to go with Heineke in the second start. I'm going to take the Commanders with 3.
All right, I'll also take the Commanders here. Something just feels right about that, and something doesn't feel right about the Colts. Who knows? Ellinger might be the breath of fresh air they need because the running game's not doing it for them like last season.
John Taylor's healthy.
All right, maybe they're back.
Yeah.
That's an interesting game. A game that was supposed to be hyped up and has blown up into a big line. Green Bay is going to see Buffalo on Sunday night. Buffalo at home, nighttime game, always tough place to play. Rock, what do you think?
Well, the Packers are getting 10.5. Who would have ever dreamt that? Okay, I mean, now remember who was getting 10.5 last week and lost? Tampa. But no. Josh Allen's just nails. He's just a 6'5", 240 animal. And, they got Diggs and they got the running back Singletary. And, my Leslie Frazier, ex-Behr, defensive coordinator is awesome. Buffalo, probably 27-7. I'm not sure Green Bay will even score.
All right, pretty bold prediction. I think this line, Aaron Rodgers said this might be the best thing for us going into Buffalo. I think Buffalo's feeling maybe a little too confident. There might be some surprises. I think Green Bay is going to keep this at a 10-point game, a 10.5 line. I think it's going to be, I like 35-24. Wait, that's 11 points.
I would just say this. Aaron Rodgers has lost his heart. They haven't replaced his receivers, and you can tell by his facial expressions there's no real rah-rah. And I think he's going to be playing in Seattle soon.
All right, not so fast. All right, let's move on. Monday Night Football. Interdivision, AFC North, always a tough bout. Cincy is hosting Cleveland. Rock, what do you think? Cleveland a home point dog.
Getting 3.5 at home, they're 2-5. That 3.5 just might be 1/2 too many, but I'm going to say Cincy by a touchdown.
All right, I agree. I think Cincy by 7 or more. I saw a good rhythm. They were up 21-0 in the blink of an eye last week. And if they can put this kind of points up against Cleveland, I think Cleveland's going to have a tough time answering. So I like Cincy by 10.
Okay.
All right, guys, thanks for tuning in to Week 8 of the NFL season. Let us know what you like. Comment down below, like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.
Adios.